是顿子不，萨维拉米谢布拉索软的，是对我经常接近前，也是没放学完就了。先前段的女儿的当去那当班男就能在这儿的说。Good morning or good everywhere. Please, to generate bodhicitta, according your kindness and according your compassions, and you investigate other sentient beings' situation, and also according to your wisdoms, you understood others' feeling and others' situation, and not only yourself, and particularly according to the genuine teaching of the Dharma, Buddhas, your understanding of the other situation is pure, penetrate, and sincere, truth. And why I need to talk about your understanding of the other situation? Because if you understand other situation, it is wonderful. For example, if you understood my situation, I'm happy or I'm suffering. If you understand that, then you can to joy with me or you can to help me, and you fully, transparently understood my situation. I have such benefit. And then I don't need to beg into you. I don't need to ask it to you, say, help me. But if you have these realizations, you have, through the wisdom, you understood my situation, and through your compassions, you have such voluntarily, willingly, want to help. And you just take example like, oh, this person, this being, it's like same as me. If there's some in the situations, I need also help. You automatically and help. Also, your help is also very pure. You nothing expecting something benefit for yourself. And also that's for me is wonderful. And the worldly, to help each other, it's not really pure. It's not the kind of real help. We help, but we're expecting to something return. And there's all the times looking something benefit self. You try, you say, I helped, but reality is not really. If we can't get the benefit, then we don't help. And we are angry. We don't want. It's like this. But you're really to your compassion or your realization is like a kind of the parents. And the Buddha's teachings all the time says like the Bodhisattva's mind is like parents' mind. Compassionate mind is like parents. One is the parents understood the children's situation. One children's sick, one children's problems, one children's cries. Then his parents has automatically want to help. and to be service. But they almost nothing expectations. Say, that is my child, I need to give education, I need to give food, I need to give clothes, everything. But of course, this is like good parents is 100% like this. But there are some stupid and some is like ugly parents. Of course, sometimes to give a little bit suffering to children, but most parents like this. Like this, if you really to realize that other situation, they're wonderful. Therefore, last in the previous our chapter of this text, and we investigate the samsara. In the chapter itself, it says the defects of the samsaras. And the defect of the samsara means it's like there are such different suffering, different type, different aspect. In samsara, there's a lot of problems. And this is like not only one single sentient being, it's a lot. And we analyze it, all the 6 realms or the 3 words. The word of the desire realms or desire, the word of the form realms, the word of the formless. And whatever dwell in this, in the continent or this contain, there's almost, it's like difficult to find happiness. And there is like kind of the temporary, momentary, contaminated happiness. But this one is like a kind of just a funny way. It's a kind of habit, but immediately disappeared. And on to get again is very complicated, like this. And then it's like we researched what really is can we do. Maybe if possible to some sentient beings receive, or to get, or to obtain, and maybe forever happiness, maybe can be achieved. And now is in this our current chapter, we are studying things. It is called the causalities, cause and effect, or the cause and the result. And then it's like why we are studying this one. Because first we study the result, the defects of the samsara, and all the different defects of the samsara is the result. It is like kind of the comes from cause. Generally speaking, like quoting the we have truth, quoting the true truth. True truth means it's like one is true, the fake truth, not really reality, but there's something. Other one we say is like absolute truth, or really the truth. In the context of the philosophical, we say is absolute truth and relative truth, or relative truth, absolute truth. And this is the kind of the basic phenomena. It's like this, there's 2 aspects. And these 2 aspects maybe in the some perspective, maybe they are unique or inseparability, but in the our relative point of view, they are kind of the relative truth, absolutely. And quoting that, there is like all the time 2, suffering, happiness, samsara, nirvana, good, bad, positive, negative. And this is naturally is occurring this. We can't say it's like why, or who is created, who done it. It's nobody. It's like it's its nature naturally is like this. And then we are be honest. Really, it's doesn't matter you are using philosophy or maybe very special technical, very special philosophies, but not necessarily. And for our perspective to look at the seriously. Yeah, there is. Even, for example, this morning when I drink tea, and I have good tea, bad tea. Why? And also I have this water, bad water, good water. Who divided? Who did like this? I cannot say nothing. It's just sometimes they occur in this. And the good one is not all the times good. Bad one is not all the times bad. Bad one I can to clean it to be good. Good one sometimes become the dirty. And I'm a relative point, okay? Relative point. And then it's I'm be really it's like to be honest with myself. Surely it's also in my mind. I have suffering and also happiness. Some is like a little bit sometimes happy. I'm happy. Everything looks like good. Or sometimes it's like there is surely have pain. Of course, like last time we investigate in the samsara, we are under the sufferings, like kind of the birth, old age, sickness, death. I myself says like all the times there are problems, diabetic. Of course, it's become the free from this kind of sickness, wonderful. But when you got, there is. And this is happiness or sorrow. It's a sorrow, it's uncomfortable. And then it's like, maybe also this is like when I go to the doctors to ask why I got that. Maybe it comes from genetic, or maybe you was very lazy. You eat a lot, you don't care your health, and then it's sit and sleepy, doing nothing. Then it's become fat, then you got this. Really? Maybe it's truth. Food is not, don't care. Most time looking the delicious. And also it's like there is a kind of the durations, or maybe it's like limited, but every morning, lunch, in the dinner, it's like even the stomach is food, but it's putting. Then it's problems. It's according to the desire attachment. And like, it's like if I don't care, then there's problems. If I'm care, even the, for example, I'm taking example, diabetic, taking care food, taking care the medicine, taking care like this, it's okay, manage it, not. But if you don't care, totally don't care, maybe a few days die, surely. And like you can to eat a lot of sugar and like, oh, I need ice cream, I need cake, I need want to honey, surely like this. Then there is the inevitable of the causalities, is we can understand. Absolutely. There's the positive and negative. Something doing negative things looks like delicious, but result is the really poison and not good. Something is not that delicious. I make the joke and sometimes says, oh, you can't eat sugar, you can't eat salt, like this. Then give very healthy organic food, but not much tasty. Then say, tired, they said. Not tired, but I take that more healthy, more nice, result is positive, really nice. And then it's like this. Sometimes when we do the positive things, a little bit tiring and not very delicious, but result is good. And then it's like ourselves, we don't need to really to study philosophy, blah, blah, to be serious, to really like a kind of the, to analyze, Really listen to the Buddhas. Buddha, he said, you should analyze. Analytical, like kind of the meditation or the analytical. There's like kind of the spatial valid cognized, to decognize it, to analyze the direct valid cognitions, direct phenomena, direct situations. And like this, indirect things is quite difficult, but directly, I need to take care of my food, I need to take care of Now is this day, this time is when we are like a kind of the researching of the causalities. Maybe causality means the cause of the suffering, cause of the happiness. Now we are checking. And particularly in these chapters, it is like a kind of, there is three kind of classifications, like a positive cause, negative cause, and everything is like comes from the cause. Without a cause, there's nothing result. And then is the positive, the negative cause produce negative, unhappy sufferings. What are they, or what it is? We already studying. There's 10 negative actions related to body, speech, mind. And then also there is, of course, the cause, which is the happiness. What do you mean? They said, you stop this 10 negative, and then it's like become the cause of the happiness. And also there's everything is to telling to us, Buddhas. And we are happy or not, totally depends the cause, really the cause. And all the phenomena are the arising from the cause. And therefore, you should to taking care cause. And then it's like, this is like the way of the teachings. Buddha, he first time taught to us about the truth of the sufferings. And that is the saying, the result. And no Buddhist, most like kind of spiritualities, they all the times try to stop the result of, like kind of at the moment I'm suffering, I want to stop. And like kind of too quickly. But not kind of thinking about the cause. That is kind of problems. In the Buddha's perspective, like when we have already result something sufferings, we all the times thinking the source of the cause. When we are stop to cease or like kind of the eradicate or how do you say, diminish or to get rid of the cause, then there is no result. And therefore, for example, we can to say, I'm headache. Why I'm headache? Maybe it's like something else. I need to think why. Maybe I'm drinks. Maybe I have liver, maybe stomach, maybe something. And the need to find of the source. If it says I'm headache, immediately you drink some headache medicine, sometimes it's very much dangerous. Maybe headache not comes from the head itself. Maybe come from different part of the body. Like this is like a good doctors says like, I have like this. For example, maybe someone say, I have there someone pumping. It's like kind of pain. Can you check it? Then the doctors to check where is the source, where making, how to say, the definite, to destroy the sufferings. And need to think about the cause. And therefore he then is like left from palace, and in order to find the cause of the sufferings, the cause of the happiness. And then it's like he said, I discovered really the cause of the sorrow, cause of the happiness. And then it's like he told to the truth of the origination. And now it's like we more emphasize the truth of the origination, and which is the causalities. And the cause basically, and the cause is, how do you say, primary cause, and basic cause, there's two kind of, And the first one is disturbing emotion, that is obvious. And second is this movement of this disturbing emotions. I mean, it's like not necessarily to all the times disturbing emotions. And disturbing emotions making the cause of the suffering. But also there is like the wisdom movement and like kind of positive movement. And that is also is like the cause of the happiness. This is related to the mind. And also in the text said like things, everything is depends the like very much circumstances. But entirely depends the mind. And really the source, we go deep and deep and deep. Primary is the cause, primary is the source of all the happy sorrow is the mind, nothing else. And in this case, and that perspective, maybe we are more focused on the mind. In the mind, we say it's a negative aspect, causing the disturbing emotions, and then there is the 10 negative actions. Maybe through the mind, maybe through the mind corresponding work with the body, with the verb, and then there is the 10 movement. This 10 movement, it's like if hurting to others. It's like kind of making sufferings, and then that is we call the 10 negative actions. And then it's like more, maybe we can to say, okay, then it's 10 actions. How I can to stop these 10 actions, 10 negatives. And 10 negative actions is moved, and then it's kind of negative things. And Nagarjuna said, it is desire, aversion, and stupidity. Action is arrived from these three, and the consequence is absolutely negative. And therefore, reality, all the 10 negative actions basically comes from our mind. It is desire and aversion and stupidities. Now, for example, it's like yesterday we studied more very kindly. Thanks for, I want to say, you studied the defects, negative, not good activity of the two, taking alive others. And you understand that fully. Surely now you care in the futures. And also the second one, bodies, and you understand this negative, the defects of the stealings. And you have this mind as knowledge, these notions in your mind. This all the times, wherever you go, this notion with you become very much truthful. Oh, I don't want. Generally, humans, sometimes mind is like very much, it's like a thief mind. And there's something like forcefully or and secretly or trickily, they all the times try to thief. But now you understand that is the fully negative and it's a defect, and then you have this notion, you never do it. And then it's like a wonderful, it's a really wonderful things. And then it's like also, according we say it's like a sexual misconduct. Of course, sometimes we have true disturbed emotions, sometimes this kind of, and unbearable things maybe can occur. It's possible. But it's some in the perspective, your mind, fullness is arrive. I don't want to do it. And you caring, and you become more truthful, reliable, And really it's like a kind of the family situations is you truthful and like a kind of the dedicated to each other and dedicated to like this, like kind of very much truthful. And this is like according to your bodies, you stop like this, and then it's like you stopped, there's naturally occurring the three positive things. And of course, top of that, maybe you can to save different sentient beings. Maybe release, many is good persons, they do. They never kill, but still it's to save, release. And also it's like they never stolen, but top of that, also they're making generosities. And they never do the sexual misconduct. Top of that is they have such self-discipline, like a kind of the seven, or like kind of there's huge humanities, qualities there is. And like this, it's a wonderful, your body is you naturally making authentic, genuine, fantastic, and very much truthful. And then it's like verbally we are correcting now. I think verbally. And verbally, today is like, yesterday we studied more like than kind of the someone's lying. Lying, it is like there's I think it's like a three type of the liars. Major, I think it's the first one is like a ordinary liar. Just a very simple way liars. And also it's like, I would to say it's like ordinary liars. There's a different, I would to say it's like liars. For example, I would to say it's like some is not necessarily to tell to, some necessarily to warm me up the front of the people. And it's something is liars is also positive things. And I would to say ordinary ways like, of course you need to be very much truthful. But it's like, I would to say it's like, you say it's like, maybe in your families, maybe parents' disagreement, maybe there's something defects family situations. And then you have your friends, on the front of your friends, you say, I want to be truth. This friend is maybe curiosities. How's your father? How's your mother? How's your family? I cannot to liar. My father like this. My mother like this. My sister, brothers like this. All the defects to telling to this. Maybe not very good. Not necessarily to tell like this. If we say it's like, if you criticize your own families, they think, this you yourself is come from these trees. Maybe you also not good. In this case, it's like you making yourself is problems. And in this perspective, you just ignore, I don't know, maybe much better. And sometimes what you done something, maybe if you can make secret, maybe it's nothing harming to others. Nothing harming to others, and not necessarily to telling. Maybe if you tell, it's make a kind of big explosion to making big problems. And in this case, why you need to tell like this? And if there is something hurting to the others, something is like kind of problems, then you make kind of the secret. It's absolutely like not good. Like this, ordinary liars. Major liars, they say it's like, this one is absolutely we need to close. That is the never ever we cannot to do like this. For example, we can to say it's like yesterday says, positive, negative causalities, no function, and doesn't matter. There's nothing kind of existence. And there's no Buddha, no quality, no good, no bad, no samsara, no nirvana. Just then what is nothing? Even though you are not existent, maybe we can kill you. No, I'm here, but no causalities here. This kind of, maybe ourselves, sometimes they have this hesitation. And many like Dharma practitioners also says, yeah, I practicing, I'm more worse. I'm meditating, I'm more worse. And then I'm like doing all the time positive things, the worse and worse. What it works, I think it doesn't work. It's like something, this kind of hesitation, and then it's like kind of to give up. Then if someone say like this, I'm saying it's like, okay, you do. And you say it's like, I don't want to stop the killing, stealing, and like the sexual misconduct, all the 10 negative. I want to do the 10 negative actions. Even if you begging me, even you just say me, it's like whatever you say, I don't want to follow you. I want to continue to do the 10 negative actions. Okay, you're welcome. You do yourself. It's your business, we can to say. If you are not suffering, so you can do. Surely your life is not comfortable. I give you guaranteed, but you won't. If someone says like, oh yes, I want to, really I believe that I understood fully the causalities. I don't want to do the 10 negative action. I want to more to acting the positives. I think very good for you. Because it's like people more respect to you, people more follow you, people more appreciate you, other sentient beings. Really, you are kind, compassionate, you don't killing, you don't stealing, you don't doing sexual misconduct, you don't lie or something very big things, you don't give harsh word. Like this kind of certain, then we are like taking refuge in you. And I think you are 100% happy. One is like we can to look like other peoples, other beings. What they want, they all the time is want something. What they want, happiness, 100%. If someone is like kind of cup of coffee, if they give to this person, say thank you, I'm very appreciative. Then it's like if you need to more delicious cappuccino, more nice things, you practice the 10 positive actions. And people automatically follow you, respect to you, devotion to you, and faith into you. And then it's, are you happy? Surely you is good for you. But if you don't want, you don't want. It's of course, that is free. That is we need to tell ourselves, we need to tell to the friend. For example, if one of my relatives, I have one relative, if you tell them, no, I don't care, say, okay, you don't care, you don't do it like this. Certainly sufferings occurring, oh, I have problems, my job problem, my family problem, my physical problems, okay, like this, then you don't do the negative things that you want to do. Positive nothing, no friend. There's one, my friend, my gosh, he was very successful, quite very good, but very arrogant, never follow like this, whatever. And slowly, everybody is become the enemy. And then it's like, this person don't need also quite rich. And I'm not depends on any others, and very arrogant. Then slowly, and then it's like he is married and his wife. And finally, certainly he died. Nobody's help. My gosh, no friend. Nobody's done. And then the wife is crying, and so nobody's help. And then some is like kind of the monks, others like someone's going to death, but it's incredible. Once is like my young brother, he's sometimes helping to others, running after the others. I say this, you are the service of others all the time like this. He says, brother, yes, but I like very much to have more friend. If when I'm a die, it's like this kind of person, I'm very sad. This is quite the truth. If you become more kind, compassionate, and like to follow up the 10 positive actions, people automatically love you, automatically send you. Even the insect, even the birds, animals, also there's such and such histories. If you are not like kind of doing any 10 negative action, all the time positives, 10 positive actions, then it's natural like this. Therefore, it's like how do you say it? We also need to take care of the second lion, major lion. It is absolutely we need to take care. And also it's like there is the third one is phony lama's liar. Yes, phony lama's liar. Today is we are there. Is which page? I think 63. Yes, 63. I don't know. This is like according to my text. In the of yours, your text, which text? But anyway, and like when you talking about how do you say it's like there's no pure land, there's no in the inferiors, there's no Buddha, there's no quality, there's no causality, and this sort of the really there are the called the major liars, because no other lies could have more devastatingly misleading consequence. This is like yesterday we stopped. It's a really big misleading. I says misleading means it's like someone to follow you, and whoever connect to this kind of liars, whoever make associations, everybody need to go to the health, because it's like you are like kind of big making the turmoil, big kind of upside down all the realities. And therefore, this is misleading consequence of the low lamas. Now the funny lamas liars, funny lamas liar, and these are all untruth claims to post such qualities and abilities as, for example, to have attained the Bodhisattva levels, or to have power of clairvoyance. And sometimes it's like there are some particularly called teachers, masters, and especially someone's like follow up the spiritualities. I would say it's in the worldly someone's, they never say like this, cannot, but in the some spirituality, someone's follow the spiritualities, someone's using the different spiritualities in order to get some benefit themselves. And then it's like kind of the funny, like cheating, and says very much untruth claim, proclaim, says like, I like kind of the such I have qualities, abilities, and like making the surprise. Have you seen it's like kind of the magical way in the some US, someone's to make magic to cut the human being's body. Half is there, very funny. And this kind of the magic illusion, or making the like kind of the tricky way, or maybe it's like someone says like even the, or I connect to the and the power of the Buddha or God, and now I have such the quality, ability, and I can to cure, I can to help to you. I realize that. And really it's like maybe I already obtained some is the maybe 7 bhumi or 8 bhumi. I'm not really sure, but on some in the levels, and some in the even the Buddhist perspective, there is some practitioner, they say, I think I enlightened this long time ago. Really, why? And once I was very strange experience. That means I be enlightenment. Oh, then it's like I have clairvoyance. Clairvoyance means maybe you see some truth, and you have like kind of the hearing to the very far miles, and you understand to the others like minds what is going on. So This kind of power of the clairvoyance, supernatural powers. And also this kind of someone to say, sometimes it is this kind of happened. It in the Patrul Rinpoche says, I think which chapter I forgot it. For example, someone is like acting. Oh yes, like how do you say? I'm realization. I have like this, and then particularly someone's connected to the spirit, like a nanga, maybe ghost, maybe demon, maybe some is like cannibals. They are cooperating. Some certainly they like kind of blessed or they like influence their body. Then they have some kind of strange, like how do you say, vision, strange ideas, strange like kind of the paranoia. And this kind of sometimes looks like paranoia. I would say maybe some lamas has a lot of paranoia. I just generally speaking, the most lamas is fantastic. Okay, me and there's some like funny lamas that they have paranoia. They don't understand their own paranoia. They think they are realized. They think that they are superiors. Then they criticize a lot to others. And then say, who's good? I am good. And like this sort of, there is, I can do cure, I can do like kind of magicals. And this is very dangerous like this. Imposted nowadays have more success than the true masters. That is the very much obvious. And like some stupid, no realization, and it's not the kind of the inner, it's like the positive development, nothing but very active and very popular, and maybe hundreds, thousand students, and also followed. And they think also they have such a very faith, devotions. Maybe we don't know which kind of, but someone is like a truly great realization master, very simple, sitting on the corner, nobody's recognized. This kind of the impulse nowadays have more succeeded like kind of stupid or the untruth masters. And truthful and like a reality qualified things is like more hiding, become hidden and disappearing. And not the kind of the such a good treat the Buddha and Bodhisattvas not disappeared, but for our perspective, it's like how do you say? It's like we inside we are very much tricky reminders. Then we perceived all others also like trickeries. To say is like use like in your mind something problems, you have hallucination, and this projected and outside a lot of hallucination. And like this, if some is like a kind of the acting similarity as, and we say is like example, alcoholic, they love each other very much because they have behavioral similarity. And they cooperating, they work together. Thieves, they love the thieves, they're together. Robbers, they correspond, they own like this. Therefore, sometimes externally some very strange things. And then this style is like coming to us very much happy. But really, so someone follow the truth, serious, qualifier, follow the like and the positive things, then they a little bit kind of, we are not relevant. It's very difficult to accept like this. I want to drink coffee. Sorry, disturb to you. Okay, love. I want to start quarter past 10. Quarter past 10, okay? All the Lotsawa, sorry I disturbed. because today good weather, I'm going to go and sleep.